let's get into the divisional round weekend. It is the best weekend in football. Even though I'm spoiled by the 6 games now, I really like Super Wild Card Weekend has closed the gap with divisional round weekend because I love the back-to-back days with 3 games. But these are extremely impactful games. The winner advances to the conference championship round. And let's get started with the Saturday games. As always, the odds are provided by our friends at PointsBet Sportsbook. It begins with the 6-seeded Rams at the top-seeded Green Bay Packers. Packers with the bye. Packers 6.5-point favorites. Packers playing on the frozen tundra. The Rams coming in from Los Angeles. And let's take a look at this thing. Both sides of the ball, Chris. Start with your thoughts on how the Packers offense matches up with the Rams defense.
Well, this is the star-studded event, right? I mean, one of the best offenses in football, the number 1 scoring offense in football versus the best defense in football, the number 1 scoring defense in football, and yards allowed. I mean, this is a heavyweight showdown. And to me, really, it's this matchup where I think, it's going to dictate who wins the football game. The Rams are awesome at everything. They're a speed football team primarily. But even though for a speed team, their speed and their guys that they have up front are stronger than they should be for their actual size. Like, right, Aaron Donald, 280-pound defensive tackle. We should be able to move him out of the way, no problem. No, he's got the strength of like a 370-pound man in that 280-pound body. And they got a lot of guys like that. But if there is one issue with the Rams or one way to attack them, and I think the teams you look at that beat them throughout the year, they made them play a little bit of phone booth football. And to me, that's where the game will come down to. If the Packers, Mike, I mean, to me, I don't think Aaron Rodgers, as great as he is in this passing game, I don't know how you feel about this, but I just feel like if it becomes a passing game against this Rams defense with that front 4 and Jalen Ramsey and his ability to match up with the Devontae Adams, then the Packers are in trouble if it has to be like Aaron Rodgers has to throw the ball 40 or 45 times a game. At least that's the way I feel. How do you feel about that aspect of it?
Well, I mean, think about it. If Ramsey can neutralize Devontae Adams, and I think that is going to be the absolute number 1 key to the game.
Right.
Will Aaron Rodgers have any room to throw to Devontae Adams? And will Aaron Rodgers try to thread a needle if he sees that Adams is covered, but there's a spot where he can put the ball and Adams can still make the catch? How much does Rodgers trust Adams to make the catch if he's being blanketed by Jalen Ramsey? But if Adams can be neutralized by one guy, then what happens?
I know.
How much time does Aaron Rodgers need before one of these other guys gets open? Will Aaron Donald be breathing down his neck? Does Rodgers still have the mobility to roll out of the pocket, step up, move, run, whatever the case may be? That's to me, it's Ramsey versus Adams and what that does to the rest of the offense. And will Rodgers try to force it in to a tight window? Because look, even when a guy is completely covered, the best quarterback, the most accurate passer, can still find a spot to put the ball where the guy has a chance to catch it.
Right.
You can't completely surround a guy and prevent him from catching a pass no matter how covered he is. Yeah, you can get in and you can knock it away, but there's still a place you can put it where the defensive back can't get to it, and Rodgers has the accuracy to do it. But does he do that, or does he move on to plan B? And if they struggle, what are we going to hear? And it's rightfully raised by Packers fans and media. Hey, if you hadn't used a first-round pick on Jordan Love and a fourth-round pick to trade up to get Jordan Love with your first-round pick, and you gotten a receiver instead, that receiver would be 17 games into his career right now, and he'd be ready to contribute in this spot.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. I mean, they're going to hear that. That's the gamble they took by what they did in the draft. There is. I mean, you're right about your whole matchup there with Devontae and Jalen Ramsey. That's going to be something to watch for. That's where I get into, and that's where it plays right up the Rams' alley. One, if you start throwing the ball too much, yes, Jalen Ramsey can lock down Devontae Adams. They can also just play straight-up zone coverages. The Rams want to play pass defense. They want to go, you're not going to throw the ball onto us until, and we're not going to come up and play aggressive run defenses until you show us you can run the ball on us. And that to me is where the game is going to be won or lost. And I would say like maybe November, late October, I didn't know if Green Bay can impose their will physically on the run game against really good defenses in football. I changed my tune towards the end of the year. But I think that balance is going to be key because the Rams, it's a really good defense. The Packers are the best, most balanced offense the Rams have had to play all year long. I don't think anybody has come up to that level, as far as who they've had to play against, as far as balance is concerned. And if they can get into, we're running it, the hell with you, we're going to smash it down there, and now you start to get the Rams having to play some single safety defenses and get away from that, that's when then Rodgers, even if there is a Jalen Ramsey on a Devontae Adams, he might be able to hit Tunyon and Marquez Valdez-Scantling against very good looks because the Rams are concerned with the run game. And to me, that'll be one of the big questions of the game altogether. Can that Packers offense run the ball on the Rams?
And Aaron Jones is going to be so critical to this because he is in the contract year. This is the contract push. This is now 24 teams at home watching these games, making notes about what they'd like to do to improve their teams. And here's Aaron Jones with an opportunity to get paid the contract that the Packers have yet to give him. He's had 2 postseason appearances. They were both last year against the Seahawks in a victory in the divisional round. It was a 21 carry, 62-yard effort, 2.95 yards per carry. That's not great. Against the 49ers, it was 12 for 56, a much higher yards per carry average, but they got thumped. They got away from the running game. That is going to be what I think is so critical. Non-existent in the passing game against the Seahawks, 1 catch for 4 yards, 5 for 27 against the 49ers. He did score 4 total touchdowns in the postseason, but the yardage contribution wasn't there. They're going to need that, and he's got every reason to have a huge game with every opportunity he gets. He's going to hear the cash register ringing if he does something with it, and that ultimate individual incentive could end up making a big difference for the team.
No, definitely. I think he could be one of those weapons that, we kind of overlook going into this one too. Just even the usage of him coming out of the backfield, and trying to find mismatches in the pass game that way too could be very key too, especially if they start to run the ball a little. Again, that's where it goes into it. Oh, run the ball. Now the Rams are worried about that, maybe in a base defense or a run-stopping defense. Oh, wait, Aaron Jones was behind Aaron Rodgers in the I formation. Now he's motioned out to receiver, and we've seen they'll throw any route to Aaron Jones. Slants, double moves, go routes, whatever. They don't care. He runs corner routes. He does it all. So I'm with you. I expect him to be a big part of that game, and then we'll see where that goes. But the other side of the ball, that's another aspect we got. It's not as sexy, but I do find that interesting too. The Packers have a lot of experience against the inside-outside zone scheme because they play the Vikings twice a year who love to do that. They just played a team and the Bears who have changed into an inside-outside zone bootleg team, but the element the Rams bring always that stresses it more than the normal is that speed sweep action, and that's where it's going to be key. I do think the Packers, with their guys like the Smith brothers and Gary and Kenny Clark, and then their phenomenal secondary, I think they are a team that can go, hey, let's stop the run. We can trust our secondary versus this pass game. It's kind of simple, and they'll give that Rams offense, I think, a very tough time as well.
Yeah, I'm selling out to stop Cam Akers and whoever else they put back there to run the football, and I'm going to force, whether it's John Wolford or Jared Goff, and Sean McVay is keeping his cards close to the vest. Whoever it is, I'm forcing that guy to beat me. I'm looking at the forecast. It's not horrible for the Rams. High of 33, low of 25, 24% chance of precipitation. Thursday, Friday, snow. Saturday, no snow. So the field will not be an issue. The conditions won't be an issue. Jared Goff out in the elements, if he's the guy, there won't be elements, but it will be cold. It could be windy, and I'll take my chances trying to defend Goff or Wolford. I'm not going to let Cam Akers beat me.
No, agreed. And Goff, we've seen he's had issues throwing the ball in the cold. Goff is not a pure thrower in the warm either, so he's certainly not going to be one in the cold. And that's the last thing I'll say about this game. That's going to be interesting to see who they start at quarterback. McVay has not committed yet. That just tells you that they like John Wolford, and they understand there's things he can do for that offense that maybe fit their team better than Jared Goff. Either way, pick time, and I'm going Packers 23-20. I think this is going to be a close football game. I think that defense is going to make the game ugly, and I think the Rams, even though I don't expect a lot of yards on the offensive side of the ball, as always, they'll nickel and dime themselves, control the clock, and I think this is going to be a nail-biter.
I did pick the Rams to cover last week, even though I picked the Seahawks to win the game. I'm not going to pick the Rams to cover this week. I think that once this thing gets moving for the Green Bay Packers, the defense is going to help set things up. I don't have faith in the Rams offense against the Packers defense. I have much more faith in the Packers offense against the Rams defense than I had the Seahawks offense in hindsight against the Rams defense. I'll say 31-21, Green Bay Packers win the game, and it may be 24-21 late, and the Packers drive down and score a touchdown to ice the game. Either way, 6.5, I'll take the Packers to cover.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.